My mother told me that I started to take a real interest in the few carpentry tools we had around home when I was 7 years old. That was back in 1938. She said I would sit on the sunny side of the house for hours, taking apart wooden orange crates that came to our village once a year. For a boy with nothing but homemade toys, these sweet-smelling, soft pine crates, they were the mother lode. Our old curved claw hammer was missing a claw, so I pulled the small nails out of the crate with a pair of pliers. Once the crate was apart, I fashioned the wood into play objects, a small house, a wagon, boxes, and shelves to hold things. It was here that I learned one of my very first carpentry lessons. Hold my thumb a good distance from the head of the nail. Bam! Ouch! Blood. Our nearest hardware store was 30 miles away, so when something broke, we fixed it. Tools became as much a part of my life as food. I can now be grateful for those days because they allowed me to learn a trade where I can create with my hands. By the time I was 19, I was a union journeyman carpenter in Los Angeles. And believe it or not, the sun shone there most every day. Making decent wages, I was able to study at universities for 13 or 14 years, not to collect degrees, but to satisfy my curiosity. So besides building houses, I taught night school at a community college for nearly 30 years. I taught carpentry to apprentices, Spanish to people who just wanted to talk to their neighbors, and even deaf children and their parents, helping them integrate into mainstream schools. I was able to travel, buy and remodel a house, raise a beautiful family, and in my later years become a writer trying to help others be master carpenters. Some of my travels took me to countries where I saw firsthand how many thousands of people, how they live on the edge in tin and cardboard shacks. I recall an early morning walk along the Pasig River where my wife Mila lived in the Philippines. Near her home, many families are crowded together in unstable houses that hang out over this once pristine river. And now this river is a recipient of all human waste. A teenage girl with clean, colorful clothes and an armful of school books emerged through a small opening from her tin house. This house measured no more than 8 feet by 12 feet. I was encouraged by her bright eyes and her smile. I peeked inside her house and spotted a colorful cloth covering a wall and a flower in a vase. For her, this simple house was a place where she could dream her dreams. At the other end of the spectrum, as a contractor, I was once invited into a palatial home near Los Angeles to discuss a remodel. A servant seated me in a reception room full of thick carpets, fine furniture, and museum art. Maybe 10 minutes later, a couple entered and we began. Well, it wasn't long before I felt a chill move through me. Not from the temperature of the room, but from the evident hostility between the man and the woman. Let's just say that I passed on this job. I can't help but wonder about the relationship between people and their homes. How did these vastly different dwelling places affect the people who live there? How have I been shaped by the houses that I've lived in?
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.